YouTube screen. Sean B steps in where the cuts run deep. From a New York state of mind, she was born to see what gets lost in the dark, what they don't wanna speak. Silk in her voice, but the questions hit hard. Pulling back the curtain, laying truth on the yard. Every hush-hush story, every shadow clue. She's piecing up the pain till the whole thing comes through. She don't chase noise, she follows the trail. When the headlines miss, she will still unveil. With a sharp-eyed soul and a heart that knows some stories need light so the healing can grow. On YouTube, tune in, let the realness rise. Like, share, subscribe, keep the truth alive. Sean B on the scene, bringing dark today, giving lost names rhythm, giving silence a say. Like, share, subscribe, let the people come through. When Sean B talks truth, baby, everybody knew. For the tears unseen and the cries turned low, she be lifting up the weight that the world let go. Every fact she finds got a purpose and pulse. Every case she touches makes the silence convulse. No cheap thrills, just grace and fire. Taking buried details higher and higher, where the whispers get drowned and the weak get missed. She's a soulful reminder they still exist. She can feel when the story ain't sitting right. So she walks through the dark just to bring back light. With that grown woman glow and pimpin' a flare, she's reaching for the truth, cause it's waiting there. On YouTube, tune in, let the realness rise. Like, share, subscribe, keep the truth alive. Sean B on the scene, bringing dark today, giving lost names rhythm, giving silence a say. Like, share, subscribe, let the people come through. When Sean B talks truth, baby, everybody knew. She got that city soul, that uptown grace, and a mind that can read what time can't erase. So gather round close, let the story unfold. Some truths need a voice, some hearts need a hold, and she won't let the quiet just fade away. She's turning low, whispers into words that stay. On YouTube, tune in, let the realness rise. Let the realness rise. Like, share, subscribe, keep the truth alive. Sean B on the scene, bringing dark today, giving lost names rhythm, giving silence a say. Like, share, subscribe, let the people come through. Sean B keeps it real, and she's speaking it true. Sean B, true crime, where the hidden gets revealed, and every story matters.
Hey y'all. Hey my babies. Hello, hello, good afternoon. Hey y'all, hey. I like that. Gossip and giggles, oh my goodness. Hey y'all, hey. Hey Buttercup. Good morning, Stinker. Hey Tina, my boo. What's going on, Sherry? Hey Miss Wanda. What's up, Polo? Good to see ya. So pretty. Oh, are you new, love? I think so. Or maybe you've been here and you're just now saying, hey girl, how are ya? What's going on, my stink lady? What's going on? Hey y'all. I am so blessed to see y'all this afternoon. Yes. So I want to say to everybody that I recently had a birthday. Yes, I did. And I deliberately did not say anything because it's very unfortunate that YouTube has, such parasites that if you give certain information when you have, such haters that, they will take that information and make content out of it because they're otherwise empty individuals, right? It's past now, Buttercup. But thank you, Boo. Thank you, Wanda. Lady knew about it. And Ebony Rose knew about it. Um, and like I said, I deliberately didn't say anything, although I did announce weeks ago that I am a Gemini. Thank you, Polos. Thank you, Tina. I just didn't say anything. Um, And more importantly, like I said, it's because YouTube has parasites. And we all know what parasites do. Parasites get on you know, your existence and try to live off of it. And I wasn't having it. So I kept it to myself and I celebrated quietly as far as YouTube is concerned. But now that it's cancer season, I said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and share that with the family. And so, yes, your girl did recently have a birthday and I enjoyed it. But I want to show you guys. I want to show you guys. Well, no, I won't. Lady did something really special. She went on my Facebook page and found a picture. And it ironically is my favorite picture of me. And it's very recent. And she also was paying attention on her birthday celebration that we were doing for her on here, that a song, a rap was my favorite joint. And so she did a collab, like a collage, and sent it to me. And it was really special. And I love her so much for that. Thank you, lady. Yes, Tina. Thank you, boo. Buttercup says, it's really sad. Just like with me, I can't even post my two newest granddaughters because folks are something else out here. Exactly, Buttercup. Do you know how badly everybody wants to see my granddaughter? Everybody, because I've talked about her, right? I have celebrated her existence since before she got here. The anticipation was great, and I mean enormous, right? Even from the other sector that I come from, they knew that my daughter was pregnant and that she's my only, my granddaughter. And so that my granddaughter was coming. And so, yes, I wanted to celebrate that. My granddaughter is utterly beautiful. And I want to show her off. I want to brag about her. It's a shame that I can't share Doobie with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because I am a proud mama. I really am. I got some fine ass kids and very intelligent. And you know what I mean? Very much, what's the word? Accomplished. Y'all understand what I'm saying? That sort of thing. So I have in small ways celebrated Doobie with you guys in things that y'all know about him. But that's a shame. So we're gonna have to do it privately, right? And so with that, hey Linda, hey Nicole, thank you guys for coming in. And so with that being said, I want to announce that any and everyone that has interacted with us, that has indeed been family over here, whether or not you're a member or not, right? Because, like I said, until certain memberships expire, I'm not doing a damn thing on YouTube. But what I will do, because I will honor you having spent your money to become a member, we are going to, on Messenger, start our book club this evening. And so, what I need everyone to do is to either email Lady or me your messenger, your Facebook name, and then we will have a conference connection on Messenger, and we will start our book club. I'm not doing a damn thing on YouTube, and I don't care who don't like it. I'm not doing it because there's a mole floating around this bitch, and I don't appreciate that whole worth a damn. Y'all understand what I'm saying? And so I wanted to announce that. I have Steptoes ladies. I have Tina's personal phone number. I know that Lady, and I believe, truthfully speaking, has connected personally. And we're gonna go from there. Okay. Hopefully Sexy Mama Libra will reach out. I've been asking her to give me her email. She hasn't yet. I don't know if that's because she don't want me to have it. I don't know. But she hasn't given it to me. Unless I've missed something. And if I've missed something, y'all please correct me. But if y'all can contact Sexy Mama Libra, because she is a phenomenal supporter of our family. She's in our family. And I don't want to exclude her or anyone else that has been a prominent interactor in our family. I don't mean to overlook anyone, but there's a mole. And so I need folks to put their big girl panties on and the men to put their big drawers on and understand where Sean B is coming from. I will not be infiltrated. I will not be taken advantage of. I will beat these motherfuckers at their bullshit every goddamn chance they try. And I hope y'all understand that and stand by me. Y'all don't want me cussing folks out. Y'all don't want me showing my ass. And so, okay. But damn it, y'all got to give me some kind of grace. And until YouTube truly implements a block button, I know another way to block these bitches. And so that's just what the fuck I'm going to do. Like it or not. Okay? Sherry says, I knew it was coming and I started to say something one day, but I didn't. But happy belated birthday. Yes, it was because you said you were a Gemini. Thank you, baby. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, hey, Lady. Hey, Nicole. Hey, y'all. Hey. Tina says, sometimes you just got to keep your private life private as much as you can. Too bad you can't share it with all of us that is close to you. Tina, I done shared more than stuff with you. You know doggone well we done kicked it. So you're personal with me. I can only be as personal with people as they are with me. So if they haven't emailed me to reach out to me, I respect that. They want to keep it right here on YouTube, and that's their prerogative. I'm not judging them for that. What I am saying is there's a mole floating around these YouTube streets, and that bitch can, you know what I mean? Okay, because I'm trying to keep it as clean as possible. But that mole know what the fuck she can do. Okay. Hey, Steptoe. Hey, boo. Hey, boo. Golden Girl says, hey. Golden Girl, did you message me like in the comments recently? For some reason, I am remember reading a comment from you. If so, thank you for reaching out, boo. Thank you. Yeah, some folks is jumping out them bushes. Absolutely. Buttercup says, right. I was so excited to have granddaughter number 1. And boom, I got granddaughter number 2, which is my great grand. and it hurts. I can't share them with the world. I have to keep them private for now. Absolutely. You protect your peace. Damn right. No, Steptoe, today is not my birthday, baby. I'm a Gemini, so my birthday has passed. Excuse me. Today is the first day of the Cancer. So my birthday is past, baby. I kept that on lock and key as good as I could. Buttercup says, I understand clearly. Yes, yes. Linda says, Miss Shambi, I did. I missed your call because I've been busy. So I don't want to miss your call. Happy belated birthday. I'll call you this evening, Linda. I will. I have your number in my phone. I locked it in. Tina said, oh no, Sean B, please cuss. I love it. You so silly, girl. Golden Girl says I said something the other day. Yep, see, I remember. And thank you for coming up out them bushes, baby. Thank you. I understand you protecting your peace. And I try to keep it as peaceful over here as possible. You know what I mean? But I will get folks together. So I hope you understand. I certainly do. My oldest Buttercup says my oldest daughter turned 40 yesterday, June 21st. I think that she's borderline Gemini and Cancer. She in fact is Buttercup. Absolutely. June 21st is indeed the cusp. That's what it's called, the cusp. So you tell your daughter that Sean B says, happy belated birthday, girl. Hey, girl, hey. Yes, yes. So salute to all the Geminis out there. Salute, salute, salute. So the first thing that I wanted to discuss was whether or not anybody has been in the YouTube streets and have finally gotten to see thank you, Buttercup. Please tell her we over here on Sean B's Miss Sean B's family says happy belated birthday to her. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Yes, to Buttercup's daughter. All right. Lady, it was your son's birthday yesterday. Well, you tell my nephew that I said, hey, happy belated. You didn't tell me, lady. Yes, yes. Happy belated. Much love. So anybody been in the YouTube streets that got to see the Carmelo Anthony track meet video? Okay. Anybody at all? Anybody at all? Because I did, right? And I'm sorry. I don't know how anybody, and this is just me, and I know I need glasses, but damn it, I ain't stupid. And I couldn't distinguish a damn thing. Only thing that I could distinguish was when Carmelo come running up the back of that tent, down the bleachers, took a couple of steps, slipped and fell, got up, and took off. That's all I could see. I saw black blobs. That's it. Now, I done heard people say, you could clearly see Carmelo in his gray hoodie. No, the fuck you couldn't. And ain't nobody gonna convince me of that. Wasn't nothing clear up under that tent besides that you could see the blobs going from side to side, and then you could see Carmelo run up the back of that shit. That's it. For me. Now, hey, any of y'all got some x-ray vision and, and that maybe perhaps even some colorblind, because that is a real thing. That's a real diagnosis, to where those dark images don't affect your eyesight and maybe perhaps even allows you to distinguish stuff that us individuals without color blindness can't, which gives you an upper hand? Please tell me, because I don't give a hell who was covering it, who was showing the video. I don't care. Because like Sean B has constantly said, I'm here to tell, I'm a truth teller, not a storyteller. And I'm certainly not trying to convince anybody of anything. Hey, Sexy Mama Libra. Sexy Mama. Hold on, you guys. Sexy Mama, I need you, because we're going to start the book club tonight on Messenger. So I need you to email me or email Lady. Lady will drop her email. Please, Lady, email Lady your Facebook name if you want to be included in the book club. I am not doing it on Facebook because there are moles and them hoes won't get in. That's it. That's all. They want to, do some shit. They could pay their own money and do the damn thing. Okay. So, hey, Gretchen. So, okay, boo. So, Sexy Mama Libra and Gretchen, I was just saying that due to it being the start of the Cancer season, I unfortunately could not share my birthday with you guys because there are parasites on YouTube who really love to hate me. And I love that for them because it definitely announces to me that I'm doing a whole lot of good shit, right? And so, unfortunately, I couldn't share that with y'all. But now that it's past, Gemini season is over. Although I did announce that I was a Gemini. I just wanted y'all to know that I did celebrate a birthday. And I just love living. And I thank God for it. Absolutely. Special K, what's going on, boo? What's going on? And again, for you guys that's coming in and the mods, because I don't want to keep stopping what I'm saying once I get into this. Can y'all periodically throughout the live announce to those, and hear me, y'all, please hear me, to those that have diligently been interacting with us within the family on our chat, not today, because folks gonna jump out the bushes today. They are. Because like I told y'all, there's a mole floating around YouTube. There are parasites floating around YouTube, right? If y'all could, throughout the chat, tell people that have been diligently interacting with us, if they want to be included, to email Miss Lady their Facebook name, and then we will connect on Messenger, our book club. Okay? Now, back to what I was saying. Like I said, good afternoon. Everybody coming in. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. And if anybody knows Miss Barbara's email, because that's my BFF and I'm not leaving her out. Please, if anybody knows Miss Barbara's email or her Facebook name, if you know it, email that to Lady as well, because I'm not leaving Miss Barbara out. Miss Barbara loves everybody. Everybody. So, Summer Mommy came in here. Where's Summer Mommy at? Did I miss Summer Mommy coming in here? No, I didn't. Gretchen, what you talking about, boo? Summer Mommy not in here. Special K is. I don't see Summer Mommy. Oh, okay, babe. Okay, because I don't want to miss nobody. I don't want to miss anybody. And that's our girl. So I don't. And I Jive got a little chuckle to connect with Summer Mommy about, and she is going to be so tickled. But it's something that she covers, and I just wanted to share. I want to share something with her. So if y'all could please let Summer Mommy know that Sean B is looking for her, because I got 7 chuckles to share with that girl. Absolutely. Or tell gossip and giggles, and she'll tell Summer Mommy. So okay, back to what I was saying. I take nothing away from content creators. I take nothing away from what they believe. And when I say content creators, I mean real ones. I mean real content creators. Hey, Sunflower. Hey, Boo. I take nothing away from what they see, what they believe, what they trust, or nothing. Thanks, Dave. Happy belated Father's Day. All right, babe. You stay dry. It's raining, y'all. But it was a beautiful day yesterday for the daddies. It really was. But my stance on that video is I couldn't tell one thing from another. Hey, Big Drip, what's going on? Big Drip. Hey. Big Drip, I don't know if you feel it or not, but we try becoming friends. Can you feel that? Tell me if I'm hallucinating some stuff, but I feel kind of a connection from you, Big Drip, when I see your name. I do. I feel a kind of connection right there. I do. I do. Yes, I do, Big Drip. And if you would like to be a part of the well, I'm gonna let the moderators do what they do. Okay, boo. Okay, stick. All right, baby. So y'all, I just have to be honest. I could not distinguish one shadow from another while under the tent. I couldn't. Does that change my stance on Carmelo having a right to defend himself? No, it does not, because he did. He had a right to defend himself. Does it change my stance on folks need to learn how to keep their damn hands to themselves? No, it does not, because they should. People need to learn how to keep their hands to themselves. You don't get to start some shit and then think that I'm going to go according to your timeline as to how I respond to it or how long I respond to it. If I want to kick up in your ass every time I see you after I'm fed up with you fucking with me, then that's exactly what the hell is going to happen. And, we could just drag it the fuck out. I don't care. Okay? But, and white folks need to stop thinking that they can tell black folks what to do. How about that? Oh, okay. Okay. Because see, yeah, I just had to go on and jump right in that shit right there. Right? Like I just had to jump right on in there. Those 3 things is still my point. He had a right to defend himself. He came to get up out the rain just like everybody else. The school owned that tent and not those 2 reputable bullies. Okay? And they should have kept their hands to themselves. You need to get from up over here. Who the fuck you think you are? Nobody of authority told Carmelo he needed to leave. No one. And knowing what I know about Carmelo, what has been reported in the news, past news, whatever, knowing what I know about him, had an authority figure told him that he needed to get from up under that tent, I believe Carmelo would have respectfully moved from up under that tent. But what I believe Carmelo saw was 2 motherfuckers trying to tell him what to do. And then one literally got in his space. And Carmelo had a right to warn him, touch me and find out what I do to you. That is no different than a motherfucker with a sign in their window that says, we're gun owners over here, so tread lightly. You understand what I'm saying? Not come out the bushes, sexy mama Libra. No, baby, no, baby. That's not what I'm saying. What I need the moderators to do throughout this live is the people that interact with us. They know they can jump out them damn mosquito-filled bushes if they want to, boo. I'm talking about the ones that we literally see right here, right now, or those that will join us as they can, right? The people that regularly interact with us, that show love to us. If Peanut comes in, Gossip and Giggles, Summer Mommy, Miss Barbara, Ebony Rose, although I'm gonna tell her myself. You understand what I'm saying? Thank you, Special K. Who else? Who's missing, you guys? Who's missing? Now, some people that have interacted with us regularly can't even be trusted. I'm just going to keep it a bean with y'all. They cannot be trusted. Tay, yup, Tay. Come on, lady, give me some more names. Tay is Lady is my secret scientist. She be, man, listen. Her brain is like, like a glass fish bowl. That stuff just be sitting in there forever. She don't forget nothing. But yeah, y'all get my point. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get my point. And like I said, sexy mama, people gonna jump out the bushes. And I am still gonna use my discernment as to whether or not, hey, Miss White, as to whether or not I allow them in our book club. That's just what it is. You see what I'm saying? Because, see, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Subscriptions are free. But a person think that they can just sit in the bushes and listen to your content and then go behind your back and talk about you, or go over on somebody else's channel and talk about you, and okay, sexy mama. And you know what I mean? No, subscriptions are free. Memberships, however, have been free for some people because it was gifted to them. And some of those memberships were gifted to people that I don't know, like Adonis says, from a can of spray paint. So no, they will not be included in a goddamn thing. They ain't bought shit. They don't even talk to us. They don't even say good morning, good afternoon, good night, fuck y'all, I don't like y'all, nothing. They don't say nothing. Lady Mysterious, Special K. Lady Mysterious's email is in the comments. Let me see if I can find it and I'll pin it. Lady, you don't have to drop it again, baby. I got it. I will pin it so that everybody can see it. And like I said, I am still going to use my discernment as to who is actually deserving of being in the book club. That's just it. That's all. Don't nobody gotta like it, but that's what's gonna happen. And anybody that's a member that I can trust will be included. There is Mysterious's email right there on the screen. And we're going to go from there. Let me see. Okay. I got y'all's email. I got y'all's text messages. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Let me see. Who is this? Okay, that's my son. Let me tell him I'm live. Okay. Um, so I hope everybody understands, but I have to protect my peace as well as everybody else who actually shows love over here. Like Pamela, there's another one. Aha, lady, you forgot Pam, but Pamela is definitely a stink. So she will definitely be included. Absolutely. Now, what I want everybody to know is I do not judge everybody for going wherever they want to go. Wherever they want to go. I am judging you according to how you interact on my channel. Right? And that's it. That's all. So, if you've been gifted a membership and you haven't interacted, you haven't done nothing, shared a kind word. Ashley Boy Mom, she's another one who's not a member, but she interacts. You see what I'm saying? Oh, lady, I'm beating you in the name list. No, I'm just joking. So that's how we're going to move forward about that. Lady, please explain in the chat why your email is on there you go. Bam. Okay. So like I was saying, everybody can believe what they want to about that video, about the case, about the verdict, about the witnesses, the witness statements, the legal team, the judge with his racist ass and all that great shit. All I'm talking about is the video. And what I'm saying is, I couldn't distinguish one thing from another. I couldn't. And I believe that the jury went off of what the DA said and what the defense attorney did not say. The defense attorney, in my opinion, should have said, I don't see why this video was even submitted into evidence because you can't tell one blob from another. Okay, Pam, you can't tell one blob or another. So if a verdict is based off of this email, I motion for a dismissal because you can't tell nothing from another. All you can see is daylight because there's a void where somebody ain't sitting. So, I first wanted to talk about that. That's my opinion. Now I'm done with it. Do anybody have any opinions? Okay, let me get in the chat. Let me see what's going on. Everybody's saying, hey. Okay. Sexy Mama says, I don't do drama. I left a lot of people channels because of that reason. I understand, and so did I. When I saw that people were only happy when you were stroking their ego and that sort of thing, I'm like, yo, I can't like Q would say, I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. I can't have a fucking opinion. Man, get the fuck out of here. So yeah, I stopped going altogether. All the fuck together. I just stopped going. Special K, you are absolutely correct. Free Carmella. He had a right to defend himself, in my opinion. In my opinion. Nobody had any authority over his body. None of them kids had any authority over him. None of them kids had a right to tell him anything. They could have asked him, politely. But no. And he had a right to warn them. I don't care, some of the witnesses said he had his hand in the bag the whole time. Some witnesses said he opened his bag and started fishing around with his hands in the bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what the fuck to believe is my point. You don't see no bag up under that goddamn tent. You don't see him reaching in that bag doing a damn thing. Everybody is literally going off of what happened in court. And I am not so goddamn quick to believe everything that was said in court, especially when it's also being said that the witness statements to the investigators differ from their statements on the stand. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all want to talk about common sense. Well, let's talk about it then. I know that, I've heard the same thing, Sexy Mama. I have. And like I said, I ain't here to convince nobody of nothing. But that's my argument on it. How they could come to any. I would have respected the jury had they said, we can't come to an agreement. Sequester us or be damned. We can't see what's going on up under that damn tent. So we can't distinguish anything. So we can't come to a decision. A unanimous decision. You see what I'm saying? And that would have forced the judge's hands to include manslaughter, which would have lessened sentencing. You understand what I'm saying? Especially according to his record, or as it would be, the lack thereof. Right? And so, no, I'm not fucking with that video. I saw the video on many different platforms. I didn't know Willie D, Sexy Mama, but I saw it on many. I saw it on many different platforms, right? Guys, another guys, young ladies, another young ladies. I've heard 3 or 4, one, two, three, four, about 4 or 5 people who were either in the courtroom to see the video or literally last year went to the place, filled out the paperwork, went up to the room and viewed the video before this trial even came to be. So I've heard all of their description of what they saw. And I say to them, how did you see that? Like, can you tell me where you went for your eyeglasses? Because I need them in my life. Because otherwise, because like I said, I'm a truth teller. Otherwise, you are saying what you are saying because you are pushing a narrative. And I don't appreciate that. I appreciate the truth. Yes, Sexy Mama, I think they did them wrong. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, don't say that I can't say that I'm not going to say you don't, or anybody else. I am saying that I can't. My decision doesn't come from that video. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. My decision don't come from that video. That video ain't shit to me. It ain't nothing but a bunch of dark blobs up under a goddamn tent. Like, seriously. And anybody who could distinguish, anybody who saw, like, there was shadows moving, you know what I'm saying? And sure, in 1 nanosecond, you could possibly say, I think that's Carmelo right there because the shadow is lighter than the other shadows. Because what I'm not going to do is put too much salt on that seasoning. I'm not going to do that. You see what I'm saying, Special K? I'm not going to do that. I can say, I think that that's Carmelo because the shadow is lighter than the other blobs up under there. But that's as far as I'm going with that. That video does not change my mind. It does not make up my mind. Not at all. Okay, let me see some comments. Tina says, free this baby immediately. He should get a second trial. That's my opinion. That's right. That's your opinion, Tina. Pam says, prayers of the righteous will prevail. God's timing is everything, no matter the circumstances. Justice will free Carmelo, I do believe. Thank you, Pamela. The special case says hashtag believe Carmelo. Gretchen says nobody can make grown-ups do anything. We know that those people wasn't going to tell the truth. Absolutely. Okay. Nicole says Carmelo was violated first. Okay. Okay. On Willie D's channel. Yes, they did him wrong. Sunflower says, in my opinion, I don't think the video that's going around is a recorded copy, not the original, which probably is much clearer. I certainly hope so, Sunflower. However, the people that were in the courtroom during the trial, looking at the same video that the jurors saw, said that it was a bunch of blobs. You see what I'm saying, Sunflower? That's what I'm talking about. If the video that we're being seen now that it's coming out to the public is the video that the jurors was looking at, shame on them. Shame on them. Because to go off of that video, you're a fucking liar because you can't see shit. And I'm talking to the jurors. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't see shit, and y'all know y'all couldn't see shit. Y'all are going off of what that DA said. Y'all were handpicked for a fucking reason, because nothing else is going to convince me. Because why would the judge dismiss three black people because they were educators, but then let a white female up there and she's an educator? Excuse me? That was a way to make sure that not one black person was on that jury. I'm not saying they were all white. I am saying that there was not one black person. Okay, Sunflower, got you. Sunflower says, in my opinion, I think the video going around is a recorded viewing. Okay. Gretchen says there has been times we had to go to the kids' school because the teachers will call and say your child isn't doing what they say. Girl. Tina says, I know I'm blind, but damn, I can't see anything from that video. Absolutely. Linda says, I agree with you, Sean B. I don't think that was the original video. The only thing I can see is when the brothers and the crew was walking like they was on a mission. Free this young man. Sunflower says, I believe that the original is probably much clearer. That's what the people that's been speaking out about it said. They said that they were told that they were coming to view the original, and that what they saw in the courtroom was not what they saw when they went where they went last year to view the video. And I believe that that is grounds for an appeal as well, amongst other stuff. Absolutely. Gretchen says, so no other child has the right. That's right. A child don't have a right to, a student don't have a right to tell another student what to do. Sexy Mama says, yes, from what I saw, the mom and brother did a video on the news and looked like they both was lying, just my opinion. Sunflower says, yeah, if it looked like that in court, then they are wrong and need to let him go. Absolutely. Gretchen says, allegedly, the judge is friends with the family, and so is the DA. I've heard that as well. Let me see. Thank you, Tina. Okay, all caught up. All right. So, now that I've said that, I want to... Oh, wait a minute. Let me do this first. I want to do this. Okay, I wanted to bring that up. Here is an update of the story that I did about a month, I think it was last month, about the missing teen Jadarius Manyweather, and there's an update. And this was sent to me by one of the babies, by one of the stinks, so I want to share it.
Arrest has been made in connection to the disappearance of 15-year-old Jadarius Manyweather. This all took place today. 51-year-old Maurice Parhams was arrested this morning and charged with first-degree murder. We have our very own reporter on the scene. News 2's Angelica Butine has the very latest on what we know now about Maurice Parhams and the death of Jadarius Manyweather. Angelica.
This is the second time Maurice Parhams has been arrested just this month. First, he was arrested on charges of indecent behavior with juveniles and computer-aided solicitation of a minor. And now he is arrested for first-degree murder. 51-year-old Maurice Parhams was silent as detectives walked him to a police unit en route to Parish Prison. He's charged with first-degree murder, accused in the disappearance and death of 15-year-old Jadarius Manyweather.
Found enough probable cause to charge Mr. Parhams with the first-degree murder of Jadarius.
Investigators spent hours searching Parhams' home on Webb Drive Saturday morning. Inside, police say they found evidence suggesting Manyweather had been beaten to death and his body disposed of after the attack.
My grandfather heard it, and he woke me up, and we came outside, and it was just flooded with police.
Ashley Nicole, a neighbor and mother of 3, says the heavy police presence quickly drew the attention of the entire neighborhood.
As a mother myself, it hurt my heart, that another mother is grieving, searching for her child.
City leaders say the focus remains on finding answers in the teen's disappearance. Jadarius' body has not been found.
You fool with our children, hell's coming with it. And we will not rest until justice is served.
The mayor says law enforcement will continue pursuing the case until it's resolved.
And we will hunt you down. We will find you. Don't fool with our babies in Baton Rouge.
Volunteer search crews say their arrest does not change their mission. They will continue for Jadarius.
It doesn't change our search methodology. It doesn't change our eagerness to find him. We're going to keep looking. We're going to keep doing what we do.
This investigation is still ongoing, and WBRZ is working to find more information on what may have caused the incident. Mia, back to you.
Okay, there I am. Okay, there you have it, babies. That is the update. That's the update. Let me see these comments. Thanks for the update. Well, you're welcome, Pamela. Linda says, so sad. Oh, Buttercup says, I'm disgusted. I am too. I am utterly disgusted. Linda says, so sad. He was just a baby. Why these people keep messing with these babies, Lord? Gretchen says, I just moved from Texas. And believe me, the police officer does the colored people very wrong if they're called out. Even your own colored officers. Absolutely. Absolutely, Gretchen. I lived in Fort Worth. Dallas, Fort Worth. I sure did. I sure did. Now, because we were military, you know what I mean? We were treated differently. We were given a lot of grace, but we didn't do shit wrong. So it wasn't no reason for the police, for us to be interacting with the police. However, what I'm saying is civilians, Black civilians, were definitely treated differently. Absolutely. Absolutely. Tina says, bring this baby home. His family deserves peace. Let this baby rest. What did you do with him? Absolutely. Now, there is areas of interest. I can say that through my research, I found that that man deliberately, while under surveillance after the first arrest, he deliberately left his phone at home when he went out to a wooded area. He went out to the wooded area, did something out there, changed his clothes, left the clothing there, then went back home. And then shortly later, when Jadarius was being searched for, the man went back out there and retrieved that clothing. And the clothing had blood on it. So, who is Lele? Lele, who is Lele, boo? Buttercup? I don't understand. Y'all got to give me names, y'all. Because I'm up here thinking, trying to pull out what I've retained during my research. And so I'm not a... And, you know, it was due to the arrest for the indecent relationship with this young girl. The young girl, the connection with Ladarius is, or Jadarius is, they were very, very good friends. And they had pictures together. He rode the last time he was seen, he was on a juvenile's bike. Y'all know how these boys, they ride the bikes that's way too small for them. Well, he was riding a juvenile's bike to this young lady's home to visit her, and he stayed there and waited, and he was never seen again. He was never seen again. Gretchen says any of them will get in front of the camera and say anything that sounds good. Absolutely, Gretchen, because if we remember when I first covered this and we went through the stuff, the mama had to beg the public to help her. And once the public got involved, that's when law enforcement got involved. And they did it sparingly. Okay, remember we went over the geographical area of where the house was that he visited, and the other lady that the mother suspects, the mother, Jadarius's mother, suspected that the other lady's son had something to do with it, because Jadarius was also seen getting in that young man's car, and he was never seen again. So thank you, Pamela. Thank you, boo. Thank you for being the first sponsor of today's live. Just sending hearts, Queen. Thank you. Thank you. Linda says, my kids always calling me mean because I don't allow them to go nowhere. Not without your supervision, I'm trying to tell you. Because friends will turn on you. They will. Absolutely, they will. It's entertainment because they're messy. All like they're jealous. All that kind of stuff. All that kind of stuff. Absolutely. Absolutely. Gretchen says, that's where I moved from. Oh, wow. So you definitely know how these folks get down. Oh, my God. Yes. Pamela said, I got 2 boys and I'm the same way. I know that's right. The girl he was fooling with. Right. I figured that's what Butterscotch was saying. Okay, sexy mama. Enjoy your lunch, boo. And be careful at work and getting home. People here love you. That's right. Lady said, that's the girl that's connected to the case. Yep, the young girl. Yep. Hey, big bro. Hello, Big Terry. Terry said, Miss Sean B and Sean B Nation family and everyone. I'm multitasking in these YouTube streets. And we love you and appreciate you so much, bro. We really do. We really, really do. We love and appreciate you so much. Okay. Ashley Boy Mom says, those aren't friends. Unfortunately, shaking my head. I know that's right, Ashley. You are absolutely right about that. Them ain't friends at all. At all. Neither one of these stories. Okay, because that young lady's name is just now coming out. Why haven't we been heard about her as far as Manyweather is concerned? Why haven't we been heard about her? That's number one. As far as Carmelo is concerned, Eddie can eat a dick. He is not a fucking friend. He turned on Carmelo at the drop of a white man talking to him. Because I believe, as well as someone else that said it on YouTube, his mama went to him and said, listen, we got to live here. So whatever narrative they need you to fucking push, you better fucking push it. Forget what the fuck you thought. Forget about them pictures y'all have taken, the cookouts y'all have participated. He ain't your friend no more. He going to prison. You still got to be here. Do you want them to do to you what they did to him? Because you might not be so lucky. You may end up like the one that's buried. Okay? So you get up on that stand and you answer them questions. Every time that DA cough, you better change it the way he wants you to change it. I believe that's what his mama told him. And so that's what he did. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, lady. Yes. So, I wanted to bring that story to you guys. Hey, Smiley. Hey, boo. So there is, oh, wait a minute. Be quiet. There is another story that I thought, oh, here it is. Yep. That I want to cover. I want to cover this. I respect this young lady's platform. And all she does is recordings. She never goes live. But I watch her. I've been watching her for years. And I love her platform. I love her platform. Absolutely. So I want to cover this. Do you guys know about the murder of Felicia Williams? Let's get into it.
10-year-old Felicia Williams disappeared in Tampa, Florida. The people responsible for watching her didn't call the police. They didn't search for her. Instead, they spent hours creating a story about what had happened. A story investigators quickly realized wasn't true. And less than 24 hours later, Felicia would be found dead. On this episode of Black Girl Gone, I tell the story of Felicia Williams, who disappeared from a Florida apartment complex in May 2014. What began as a desperate search for a missing child soon became a homicide investigation that revealed a devastating betrayal by someone entrusted with her care. This is Felicia's story. To her family, she was Sugar Plum. 9-year-old Felicia Williams was sweet, outgoing, and full of personality. She had a bright smile and an infectious laugh. She was the second youngest of 6 girls born on December 9th, 2004, her mother's namesake, and family and friends remembered her as a kind-hearted little girl who genuinely cared about others. Even at a young age, Felicia had a nurturing spirit and often tried to comfort people when they were upset. In 2014, Felicia was living in Tampa, Florida with her family. She was a student at Edison Elementary School, where she was known as a friendly and respectful child. Teachers and classmates alike adored her, and when she walked through the halls of her school, she was rarely without a smile on her face. Outside of school, Felicia enjoyed many of the things that little girls her age loved. She was a huge fan of Hello Kitty and loved spending time outdoors. One of her favorite activities was visiting a nearby park to feed the ducks and birds that gathered around the pond. She also enjoyed spending time with her family, who were at the center of her world. And Felicia was active in her church community as well. She sang in the youth choir at Zion Temple Holiness Church, where her family worshiped. Those who knew her there remembered her as cheerful, polite, and eager to participate. And although she was only 9 years old, Felicia was already beginning to dream about her future. According to her family, she talked about becoming a teacher or a doctor one day. Both aspirations reflected the caring nature that so many people saw in her. And like so many children her age, much of her life revolved around her family, her school, her church, and the people that she spent time with every day. And one of those people was a woman named Ebony Wiley. In 2014, Ebony was 23 years old, and she lived in the same East Tampa neighborhood as Felicia and her family. She worked at a nearby nursing home and had developed a close relationship with Felicia's mother, Felicia Demerson. Now, over the years, Ebony had become a regular presence in the family's life. She frequently spent time with Felicia and her siblings, taking them to church, out to lunch, to local parks, and on bike rides around the neighborhood. The children knew her well, and according to those who knew the family, she was someone that they enjoyed being around. Now, Ebony's relationship with the family was so close that she referred to herself as Felicia's godmother. And for Felicia's mother, that wasn't just a nickname. It reflected the trust that she had placed in Ebony after years of watching her care for and spend time with her children. And so by May 2014, allowing Felicia to spend the day with Ebony wasn't unusual. It was something that happened many times before. And so on May 16th, 2014, that trust seemed no different than it had any other day. Felicia had been home with her siblings while her mom was at a hair appointment. And around 4 o'clock p.m., Felicia called her mother and asked her if she could spend the afternoon with Ebony, who, according to one of Felicia's sisters, had shown up at their house asking if Felicia could hang out with her. According to Felicia's mother, Ebony told the family that she planned to take Felicia to a Friday night church service, to the park, or out to get something to eat. And those were all activities that she had done with the children before, so there was nothing about the request that raised any concerns. Now, confident that her daughter was with someone that she knew and trusted, Felicia Demerson gave her permission to go. Now, what Felicia's mother didn't know was that Ebony had invited someone else to join them that afternoon. And just 3 days earlier, Ebony had met a man who introduced himself as Trevor while walking through her East Tampa neighborhood. And his real name was Granville Ritchie. But according to Ebony, the two exchanged phone numbers and quickly began spending time together. The relationship moved fast. In the span of just a couple days, Ebony became deeply infatuated with Ritchie. She believed that she had fallen in love and began envisioning a future with him. What Ebony didn't know was that much of what Ritchie had told her about himself was untrue. Although he presented himself as available, he was in fact married, and according to his own statements to investigators, involved with multiple other women at the time. In the days leading up to May 16th, Ebony frequently spoke with Ritchie about what was happening in her life, including her relationship with Felicia Williams and her family. She told him that Felicia often spent time with her and discussed frustrations that she had been having involving the 9-year-old. Earlier on the day of May 16th, Ebony complained to Ritchie that Felicia had been causing her stress. And according to later testimony, she said that Ritchie suggested that the two of them pick Felicia up together and spend some time talking with her. Now, for Ebony, it may have seemed like a harmless suggestion, but it would be the first time that Felicia would have ever even met Granville Ritchie. But later that afternoon, Ritchie drove his silver Lexus to the East Tampa neighborhood to pick up Ebony and Felicia. At first, Ebony said that she believed the three of them were simply going to grab something to eat. But after they got into the car, Ritchie began driving toward the Doral Oaks apartment complex in Temple Terrace, where his mother lived. According to Ebony, when she asked where they were going, Ritchie told her that his mother was cooking and that they could eat at the apartment. But Ebony was uncomfortable with the idea because Felicia had never met Ritchie's mother, and she thought that it would be awkward for the 9-year-old to be expected to eat a meal prepared by someone she didn't know. And so instead, they stopped at a Checkers restaurant and bought food for Felicia before continuing on to the apartment complex. And she ate while they drove. For Felicia, it likely seemed like an ordinary afternoon. But by then, the afternoon was already unfolding very differently than the one Felicia's mother believed her daughter was having. So once they arrived at the apartment, Ebony instructed Felicia to call her mother. According to Ebony's later testimony, Felicia told her mother that she was with Ebony, but she did not mention that they were at Granville Ritchie's apartment or that Ritchie was with them. And so, from Felicia Demerson's perspective, there was nothing unusual about the call. But before they went inside, Ebony said that Ritchie showed her a bag containing drugs. And she said that she took a Molly or ecstasy, similar to the one that she had taken when the two first met just days earlier. And so, not long after entering the apartment, Ebony said that she began feeling the effects of the drug. Even so, she and Ritchie spent part of the afternoon talking with Felicia about concerns they had discussed earlier. According to Ebony, they spoke to the child about allegations that she had been taking money and cell phones from family members, as well as issues related to her behavior at school. And then, at some point during the visit, Ritchie told Ebony that he wanted marijuana. And Ebony testified that she called her grandfather to see if he could help her get some. And her grandfather told her to come by his house. Now, what happened next would become one of the most important and most heavily scrutinized parts of Ebony's account. Because, according to her, she then made the decision to leave Felicia alone with Granville Ritchie. Now, she said that she was hesitant at first to leave her, but that Ritchie had told her it wasn't a good idea to take her. Ebony didn't have a driver's license, and she would be driving with weed in the car. And so she said that he convinced her that it wasn't a good idea to take the child with her. And so she left Felicia with the man that she had only known for a few days. Now, according to Ebony, she was gone for roughly 40 to 50 minutes. And during that time, she said she and Ritchie spoke several times by phone, including when she needed help getting back through the gate at the apartment complex. But when Ebony returned, Felicia was gone. She said Ritchie told her that he had given Felicia some money and allowed her to walk to a nearby CVS to buy candy. According to Ritchie, the 9-year-old had left on her own and simply hadn't come back. And so concerned, Ebony drove to the CVS and asked an employee whether a girl matching Felicia's description had come into the store. And according to her, the employee told her no. She then returned to the apartment complex, and when she arrived, Ebony said she found Ritchie standing outside the apartment. He was shirtless, sweating, and wearing only a pair of pants. According to her testimony, he appeared upset that Felicia had not returned. And Ebony said that she initially tried to calm him down, telling him that Felicia had a tendency to wander off and would probably come back. But as time passed, there was still no sign of Felicia, and she began to worry. Yet, despite believing that Felicia was missing, neither Ebony nor Ritchie called her family. Neither of them contacted the police, and neither of them went out looking for her. Instead, Ebony said that she went into a bedroom closet to pray and calm herself down as the effects of the drugs began to wear off. And when she came out of the closet, she had a drink. And then, according to her, she and Ritchie had sex on the living room floor. Hours passed. No one contacted Felicia's mother. No one contacted the police. And no one searched for the little girl that Ritchie claimed had simply wandered away.
My God, I just been talking. Y'all listen. I'm going to do it all over again, though. It's okay. Pamela said, trust no one. Gretchen said, beautiful young lady with $1 million smile. Gretchen, that is not a young lady. She was 9 years old. She was a little girl. She wasn't even double digits yet, let alone even a teenager. She was 9. Pamela says, Ebony, very demonic spirits. Absolutely. Just saying her intentions were not good at all. At all. Pamela says, evil spirits have no preference. No, they don't. She also says Richard the devil knew what he was doing. Absolutely. Gretchen says, how can she walk to a CVS when she didn't know anything about the neighborhood? Absolutely. And Miss Ballhead, desperate black bitch, was so damn desperate that she didn't even discern that. Like, wait a minute, she walked where? How? She's 9, number one, and you let her? Number two, she don't know this neighborhood. Why would you let her do that? No, bitch, why would you leave her with him? She was entrusted to you, not him. Crazy word, so sad. Smiley says, this is sad. Why do these women keep leaving kids with strange men? Smiley. The same reason why somebody that we know on YouTube did it. The same woman who drove thousands of miles to go pick up a nigga that she had only talked to on the phone and seen in video or talked to over videos or whatever. And then drove him back to her house. Fucked on him in the next room while her daughter was in the other room. And then left him in the house with her daughter. Same reason. Same reason. A motherfucker can say, I ain't desperate. Well, I can't tell. And I just want to throw this out there. For a motherfucker that want to say I'm picking on her. No, the fuck I'm not. I'm saying the same thing to her while her daughter is alive that should have been said to these other women out here. And now their children are gone. So yes, if me dredging that back up and using this as a prime goddamn example stops her from doing that fuck shit and saves her daughter's life, then that's what the hell Sean B is here to do. Read my goddamn channel's description. I'm going to do it every time. She was wrong for doing that shit. Q respected her daughter more than she did. I said it then and I'm saying it now. And I ain't even mad at her. I'm mad at what she did. I'm mad because she put her child's life in danger. She didn't know Q from a can of fucking spray paint, like Adonis says. Only thing she knew was what Q had told her. That's it. That's the fuck it. Ashley says, this is sad. Gretchen says, how can these grown people do things to kids and live with themselves? Absolutely. Absolutely. Can y'all hear me now? Okay, I thought it was just me. Okay, I know y'all can hear me now. Okay. Gretchen says, some women trust men too much. It might be that man wouldn't do it to a grown woman, but lust for a child. And to stay out of jail, they yes. Yes. Sexy Mama says, yes, Miss Dunlop, this is sad. Gretchen says, I feel no woman or man should leave their child with no stranger. They don't even know. Period. Big Drip says, see, why you make me choke on my turkey sandwich. Hey, listen, Big Drip. Big Drip, you know how I give it up, Bookie. You know how I give it up. Ashley Boy Mom says, and yet the same careful little girl didn't even want to eat from the stranger. So why would she walk to a store at that age in a neighborhood she know nothing about? Shaking my head, period. Ashley says, people really think others are slow like them. Shaking my head. I can't. Every little thing and peep the plays being made at hand. Absolutely. Pamela says, Richard is a whole married man, very sick individual. He was a greedy bastard, wasn't he? He wanted his wife, the other women, and some woman's child too. That is some nasty fucking work. Gretchen says, I really didn't want to leave my children with family if they were having people at their house that I didn't socialize with. I trusted nobody with mans. I know that's right, boo. I know that's right. So there is a reason why I'm showing this. Because where we thought we would never meet a person. Now, y'all keep it real for a minute. I never thought that I would ever in any kind of way come in contact with a woman, even though we hear about it on the news all the time. I never thought I would come in contact with a woman, especially with these nasty men being as prevalent as it is in the present, that would leave a man that is his first time to her home, you know what I mean, with their teenage daughter. I never thought I would meet someone that would do something like that. Yet here we are. You can hate me all you want to, but it's a fact. Like I said, and I'm going to say it again, I ain't mad at her no more. I said what I had to say to her, and I'm done with it. You feel me? Apparently, she still ain't learned her lesson, because I heard about something yesterday, but that's neither here nor there. Not going to go there. My point is, there is a reason why it shouldn't be done. And shame on a motherfucker for thinking that these kind of men would show them preferential treatment. And you think that until you find out different. What, your child's safety wasn't more important for you? Now, the mother of this child trusted her daughter to go with a woman that was considered to be this little girl's godmother. The bitch tried to say, I told him, yeah, no, I don't feel comfortable about her eating at your mama's house. She don't know her. Bitch, she didn't know him either, but you left her there. Let them tell it. Let them fucking tell it. I believe she was taken away from where the little girl was outside playing on purpose. I believe it was all part of the freaking plan. And anybody who knows that female need to check with their kids and see if that bald-head ugly bitch has touched any of their children. I believe it was part of the plan all along. I definitely do. This woman right here in this story, I believe it was part of the plan the whole damn time, because it don't make sense. Yeah, the weed could have waited. Fuck, they had just taken some ecstasy pills. You know what I'm saying? Gretchen said, you never know what old man or woman is watching their child. It's a shame. And these men are only owed to the children. They're not old men to us once we're grown. You know what I mean? It may not look right for a 20-year-old to be dating a 50-year-old, but they're still grown. Can't do nothing about that. You know what I mean? We can ask the 50-year-old, like, yo, what's wrong with you that you're not dating a woman closer to your age range? Why, 50 and 20, like, really? Just saying, for example. But this right here, I believe this was on purpose. I sure do. But we'll continue.
But Felicia wasn't lost. And before the night was over, Granville Ritchie would begin taking steps to make sure that no one ever found her. On May 16th, 2014, 9-year-old Felicia Williams went with a family friend for what should have been a normal day out. But hours later, Felicia would be gone. For someone who considered herself Felicia's godmother, Ebony Wiley showed remarkably little urgency in the hours after she disappeared. There was no frantic search, no immediate call to police, and for hours, Felicia's family was unaware that anything was even wrong. Instead, Ebony and Granville Ritchie had begun discussing what they were going to tell people about that afternoon. And so, before Ritchie drove Ebony back home, the two agreed on a story. According to Ebony, Ritchie insisted that there should be no mention of a man being with her and Felicia that day. Instead, he instructed her to include a woman named Vivian in the story, a woman Ebony understood to be Ritchie's mother, despite never having met her. And once they settled on the story, the two parted ways. Ebony then called her sister and arranged to meet her at a liquor store on 22nd Street. And when the two met up, Ebony shared the story that she and Ritchie had agreed to tell. And then, only after that, did she contact Felicia's mother. By that point, hours had passed since Felicia had supposedly walked away from the apartment. Now, Felicia's mother told Ebony to meet her at a nearby Burger King. But before going there, Ebony called a friend and asked him to pick her and her sister up, and then they made another stop. Not to search for Felicia, but to buy more ecstasy. Later, Ebony would say that she wanted to get high again. Now, when Felicia Demerson finally received the call from Ebony, she didn't know what to think. The story she told her didn't make sense, because according to Ebony, she had taken Felicia to an apartment in Temple Terrace where her boyfriend's mother lived. She claimed that while she was taking a shower, Felicia had somehow disappeared. For Felicia's mother, the explanation only raised more questions. It was already dark outside. Her 9-year-old daughter was missing, and the person that she had trusted to keep her safe could not tell her where she was. Now, until that moment, Felicia's mother had believed that her daughter was simply spending the afternoon with a trusted family friend. And now she was learning that Felicia had been taken to an unfamiliar apartment and had allegedly vanished while in Ebony's care. Knowing that something was terribly wrong, Felicia's mother didn't wait. She immediately contacted the Temple Terrace Police Department and reported her daughter missing. Now, after the missing persons report was filed, Ebony met with the officers near the apartment complex and repeated the account that she had given Felicia's family. She continued telling the story that she and Ritchie had agreed upon earlier that evening. And so as the search for Felicia stretched into the night, her family waited for news and hoped that she would be found safe. Instead, morning arrived with no sign of Felicia. According to Ebony, she went to work the next day, but only remained there briefly before becoming overwhelmed and being sent home. And when she got home, she spent much of the day communicating with Ritchie's mother, who had by then become familiar with the version of events that had been given to Felicia's family and investigators. At the same time, Ebony was still trying to get in touch with Ritchie himself. And after several unsuccessful attempts, she was finally able to reach him. But by then, Ebony said that she had begun to wonder whether there was more to Felicia's disappearance than what she had been told. And when she finally spoke with Ritchie, she asked him directly if he had done something to Felicia. According to her, he said no. But from the beginning, investigators had concerns about Ebony's account of what had happened to Felicia. The timeline was unclear, important details were missing, and the explanation for how a 9-year-old girl seemingly vanished raised more questions than answers. And so, as a result, on May 17th, the day after Felicia disappeared, detectives brought Ebony back in for a more formal interview. And during that interview, investigators challenged several aspects of her story and pressed her for additional details about the hours leading up to Felicia's disappearance. Continued. Ebony began to change parts of her account. She admitted that the story she had initially provided was not entirely truthful. According to her, she had not been at an apartment with Vivian when Felicia disappeared. Instead, she told detectives that she had been at the apartment with a man she knew as Trevor. Ebony explained that while she and Trevor were having sex in the bathroom, Felicia had been sitting in the living room watching cartoons. According to this new version of events, when they came out of the bathroom, Felicia was gone. For detectives, the revised story answered some questions, but it created many more. Now, it didn't take detectives long to figure out who the man was that Ebony said was named Trevor. But while Ebony was being interviewed, investigators asked her to contact him by phone. During the call, she informed him that she had changed her story and told detectives that he had been with her on the day Felicia disappeared. But by that point, investigators were already working to identify him on their own and using information gathered during the investigation, including phone records and details connected to the apartment where Ebony said they had been. Detectives were able to connect the name Trevor to Granville Ritchie. And once they identified him, they began looking into his background. And what they found was troubling. Ritchie was not simply a man that Ebony had met a few days earlier. He had an extensive criminal history that stretched back years.
Exactly, Pamela. Pamela said, wow, but this the godmother? No, ma'am. I can't with the mother's decision. I don't know. I don't know, Pam. I don't know if we don't know if something had never happened between the so-called godmother and the mother. You know what I mean? It's a lot of unknowns, and I'm sure that the people who know them know a whole lot more than what came out in this story. You know what I mean? And we can speculate all day. We could say, that the mama was derelict in her duties. You know what I'm saying? We could say that the mama was so busy trying to do her own thing that she like, yeah, go ahead, take her. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be as innocent as the mother wants us to believe, is that she was good friends with this chick. And this chick was seen as this baby's godmother. And it seemed innocent to the mother when the daughter said, Mommy, can I go with her? You know what I'm saying? And the mother didn't suspect anything and let her daughter go. Not knowing that the that the so-called godmother done met this nasty motherfucker talking about she was in love. Bitch, you knew this motherfucker days. After days, you was in love with a motherfucker you didn't even know. You didn't know his real name. You didn't know he was married. You didn't even know that you wasn't the only bitch that he was fucking around with on his wife. Like, it's just so much. And then my thing is, if he was taking you to the mama's house, but you never met the mama, you're not putting together all these motherfucking lies that this motherfucker telling you. If a nigga tell me, well, instead of spending money on lunch, my mom can burn. You want to go to my mama's house and eat? Whatever, I play around with it in my mind. And I'm like, okay, well, at least it's a woman. You know what I mean? We get to the house and ain't no mama. Yeah, I'm feeling some type of way. I'm ready to go. Like, I'm grabbing baby girl hand and we walking the fuck away from there. Like, I don't even want to get in his car no more. Even though I'm a dumbass for getting in it in the first place. However, y'all got to remember, she already knew this nigga before baby girl came along on this afternoon. See what I'm saying? Okay, let me go back in the comments a little bit. Gretchen says, it's like you gave that child life up just to get some weed and to have a man who paid her a little of attention. She didn't know that man was the Avon lady, from the Avon lady. Absolutely. Sexy Mama said this called desperate, in my opinion. Absolutely, Gretchen. I mean, Summer, Sexy Mama. Absolutely. I'm sorry, y'all. Fucking y'all name up. My bad, babies. Gretchen said, and I guess because he told her no, she took his word for it. Absolutely. Like a dumb bitch. Absolutely. Pamela says, my child in a predicament too. If my kids was in my care, none of those things would be going on around my kids. Not on my watch, not in my home. Absolutely. Ashley Boymon says, people are really stupid to do these crimes, not knowing they can pull phone records, etc. Instead of just telling the truth, they decided to dig a deeper hole. Yep. And they fell right the fuck in that shit too. Sexy Mama says, children rely on us to keep them safe. Pamela says, but little Felicia had no idea because the enemy, Ebony, the bald head bitch, already talked as if the little baby was stressed or going through things. Make it make sense. She helped add fuel to Richard's mind frame. I believe it was a play all along, Pamela. I believe it's something behind that Ebony chick for the reason why she asked for this little girl to come with her. I believe little Felicia was in danger from the gate. I believe the shit was planned between the two of them. Oh, I definitely do. Maybe not to kill her, but to definitely have their way with her. Oh, I believe that shit wholeheartedly. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And included convictions for violent offenses. As investigators learned more about Richie, their attention increasingly shifted toward the man who had been with Felicia Williams during the final hours she was known to be alive. And by now, the version of events that Ebony had originally given investigators had completely unraveled. The story involving Richie's mother was gone. The account she gave during her second interview raised even more concerns. And detectives had already uncovered evidence that contradicted key parts of what she had been telling them. Now, after giving that second version of events, Ebony Wiley was placed under arrest and charged with lying to investigators. Ebony knew that detectives no longer believed her. And as the investigation continued pressing for answers, she changed her story yet again. But before Wiley could tell them that story, the investigation took a devastating turn. On the afternoon of May 17th, while detectives were still working to determine what had happened to Felicia, a couple fishing along the shoreline near the Courtney Campbell Causeway made a horrifying discovery. At approximately 3:20 p.m., they spotted a small body floating near the rocks and mangroves. And the body was later identified as Felicia Williams. Less than 24 hours after she had last been seen alive, the search for the missing child had become a homicide investigation. And once investigators learned that Felicia had been found, they returned to Ebony and informed her that Felicia was dead. And the conversation changed immediately, because there was no longer any possibility that Felicia had wandered away or that she would eventually come home. And detectives needed to know exactly what had happened inside that apartment. And so, according to Ebony, that's when she finally decided to tell them the truth. She admitted that she had not been honest with investigators about what happened on May 16th. She told detectives that she had left Felicia alone at the apartment with the man that she knew as Trevor. She also admitted that the stories she had previously given police were fabricated. According to Ebony, she and Trevor had discussed what they were going to say long before anyone contacted Felicia's mother. And the account about Felicia wandering away, the details involving Richie's mother, and other parts of her earlier statements had all been created after Felicia disappeared. Ebony acknowledged that by the time anyone knew that Felicia was missing, they had already agreed on telling the story. For investigators, the admission confirmed what they suspected from the beginning, that Ebony Wiley had not simply withheld information, she had actively participated in concealing what happened during the final hours of Felicia's life. Now, following Ebony Wiley's arrest and the discovery of Felicia's body, investigators moved quickly to locate Granville Ritchie. They had been tracking him for days and learned that shortly after the murder, he had gone to St. Petersburg, Florida. And once they located him, U.S. Marshals arrested him on unrelated charges and brought him back to Tampa, where he was questioned. What detectives heard from Ritchie was yet another version of events. Like Ebony's previous statements, his account differed from what investigators had already been told. Ritchie denied that Felicia disappeared while Ebony was taking a shower. He also denied portions of the story involving drugs, the trip to CVS, and claims that he had been left alone with the 9-year-old. Instead, Ritchie told detectives that Felicia vanished while he and Ebony were having sex in a back bedroom. According to Ritchie, the two had been occupied for approximately 45 minutes, and when they emerged, Felicia was gone. Ritchie claimed that Wiley briefly searched for the child before he drove her home. He then described the rest of his evening, telling investigators that he left the area and drove to visit a friend. According to Ritchie, the friend wasn't home, and so he later returned to the apartment complex and remained there for a period of time before eventually leaving again. Ritchie told detectives that around midnight, he drove to St. Petersburg, where he spent the night with his girlfriend. But by that point, investigators were no longer focused solely on the inconsistencies between Ritchie's story and Ebony's. They were trying to determine what had happened to Felicia during the hours before her body was found. And the evidence that they were uncovering was beginning to tell a very different story. And after interviewing Ritchie, investigators obtained a search warrant for the apartment where Felicia had last been seen alive. And what they found painted a disturbing picture. Inside the apartment, detectives discovered evidence suggesting that Felicia's body had been concealed and removed from the residence after her death. Investigators found marks in the carpet that appeared to have been made by a wheeled object being dragged across the apartment floor. Those marks led toward the rear patio. And near the patio, detectives recovered a broken suitcase wheel. Inside the apartment, they found a broken zipper pull. And as the investigation continued, both items were linked to a Protégé brand suitcase. That discovery became even more significant when investigators searched the silver Lexus that Ritchie had been driving. Inside the vehicle, they found the Protégé suitcase. Detectives later learned that witnesses had seen Ritchie with 2 suitcases of the same style but different sizes prior to Felicia's disappearance. Investigators also found evidence that the apartment had been cleaned sometime after Felicia was last seen. Meanwhile, a review of Ritchie's cell phone records revealed something else. Cell site data showed that he had traveled to the area where Felicia's body was ultimately recovered. And not only had he been there, but records indicated that he had remained in the area for an extended period of time. And the evidence recovered from Ritchie's Lexus only added to investigators' suspicions because detectives found plant material lodged in one of the vehicle's headlights, that was consistent with the vegetation growing in the area where Felicia's body had been discovered.
Okay, let me get some of these comments. Ashley said, Ashley madder than a motherfucker. Ashley said, all these adults were wrong. No, that's right. She said, I'ma smack you. I'ma kick you in your ass. And bitch, you just, Ashley said, see, has she just been honest? Even if she felt stupid leaving that child or had no part in the murder, now you fully do. She just as guilty as the sick ass man. Absolutely. Gretchen says, listening to a story of a man that she didn't know. She just knew this was someone who got her high a time before and sending her out for drugs alone. He knew where to get drugs. So why didn't he go? Exactly. I don't believe any of that. I don't believe she left to go anywhere. I don't believe she ever left, Gretchen. I believe that's her trying to minimize the severity of her not being around that child every minute that child was with her. Right? I believe she's trying to say, while I was wrong for leaving, I didn't do nothing to her. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Yeah, Pamela, thank you. I believe that's what really, was going on with this bitch. I believe this bitch is lying. I believe when that chick walked away, because remember, Felicia's mother didn't see Ebony and Felicia get in the car with that man. Ebony walked away with Felicia. That's what the mother saw. And then here comes this dude. That's why it seems like a setup to me. Because why didn't he pick them up in front of Felicia's mama so Felicia's mama could say, who the fuck is that? You're my friend and I don't know that you know this nigga. You see what I'm saying, Ashley Boy Mom? That's why I don't think that the mother is as culpable as your opinion is stating, right? I believe that the mother trusted that this chick was just taking her daughter out maybe to get some ice cream or whatever, you know what I mean? Or perhaps the mother, like I said before, was so engulfed in her own selfish whatever goings-ons that day that she said, yeah, because maybe she was doing something inappropriate that a 9-year-old didn't need to see. Maybe doing drugs, maybe having sex, I don't know, maybe selling drugs, I don't know, right? Maybe they was having an adult party, I don't know. But I believe if it was an adult party, Ebony would have stayed. But I believe if the mother was doing something inappropriate, it opened up the possibility. It made it easier for Ebony to get Felicia away from her mother, so that Felicia and this sick motherfucker could do what they wanted to do. I don't believe that Richard was as much of a stranger as Ebony is claiming that he was. You see what I'm saying? Maybe she didn't know he was married. Okay. Right? But I believe that they had known each other longer than just a few days. You know what I mean? I believe that they were down with that nasty shit. I believe she was down with his ass. Absolutely. Let me go back. Gretchen says, but that demon lied like she was going to take the child to church. Yeah, and all the time taking him to a man for her life to be taken. Absolutely. And walking away with the child, she was showing the child off to the man. Smiley says She's the one that put her in danger in the first place. She who, Smiley? I don't know who you mean, the mother or Ebony? Because the suspect, the female suspect in this story, her name is Ebony. Smiley says she's the one who put her in danger in the first place. I also believe that they both did something sick to that child. My opinion. If she wasn't involved, why would she be so willing to lie for him so often? Right, Smiley? Like this bitch told 15,000 different goddamn versions. Right? Sexy Mama says, everyone have a blessed day. And Sean B, I'll go on Messenger when I get off. Thank you, ladies, for all you do. Thank you, baby. Be safe. Get home safely. See you later. Love you both. Gretchen says, I believe she been knowing Richard. Absolutely. And Richard had already told Ebony what he was looking for. Absolutely. I totally agree. Okay, so Smiley says Ebony. Ebony's the one that put her in danger in the first place. I also believe, right, Ebony. I agree. And I only, don't get me wrong, Ashley Boy Mom, I am not totally excluding the mother. I'm not. But I just don't think we got enough kibbles and bits to make the pie crust. You understand what I'm saying? Where the mom is concerned. I believe we know enough to come to some type of conclusion about Ebony. Rather, we differ in opinions on her level of involvement. You know what I mean? That may differ. But I'm just saying, I believe we have most of the ingredients that we need to come up with to form an opinion about Ebony and Richard. But I just don't think I don't have enough to come up with an opinion about the mama. Yeah. Okay, let's continue.
Then they also found soil in the driver's side floorboard that was consistent with soil from the same location. Now, individually, each piece of evidence raised questions, but taken together, investigators believe that they were beginning to reconstruct what happened after Felicia was killed. Now, based on the physical evidence, surveillance footage, cell phone data, and the condition of the apartment, investigators developed a theory about what they believed happened after Ebony Wiley left Felicia alone with Granville Ritchie. Detectives believe that Felicia was killed inside the apartment sometime after Ebony left. And according to investigators, Ritchie then concealed the child's body inside the apartment while he continued carrying out the events of the evening. And then, after dropping Ebony off, detectives believe Ritchie returned to the apartment and began taking steps to dispose of the evidence. Investigators concluded that at some point, he placed Felicia's body inside a rolling suitcase. Evidence recovered from the apartment suggested that the suitcase had been dragged through the residence and out toward the rear patio, before ultimately being loaded into the vehicle that Ritchie had been driving. From there, investigators used cell phone records and traffic camera footage to trace Ritchie's movements. The evidence showed that late that night, he left the apartment complex and drove across Hillsborough County toward the Courtney Campbell Causeway. After crossing the main span of the bridge, investigators determined that Ritchie exited onto a secluded access road that runs alongside the causeway. According to the state's theory, he drove several miles down the roadway until he reached an area shielded by dense vegetation and largely hidden from passing traffic.
Now, y'all tell me something. Hey, Gwen, y'all tell me something. Tell me something. If this motherfucker ain't never did this before, how the fuck he find that spot? Did y'all see that? I'm going to pull it back up because I don't know why the screen went dark.
And it was there investigators believed that Richie removed the suitcase from the vehicle and disposed of, according to the state's theory.
Several miles. Hey, girl, hey! Hey, got some giggles. Hey, girl, hey. How you doing, Stink? Hey, boo. So, like, I'm serious, y'all. Like, seriously. If he's never done this before, how the hell he find that spot? Because this lady on her channel says, per the police, he drove several miles along that shoreline in that brush. How did he know about it? How did he know about that? That secret access. Because, listen, y'all, I drive to the res, which is the Indian reservation, one of many that we have in the state of New York. I drive to the reservation many times a week, at least twice a week. That makes 4 to 6 times a month. I drive to the same reservation. I drive the same route every time. And when I tell y'all that per the weather, which means if there is snow, there's certain shit you can't see. Certain entrances and certain access roads you just don't see. If it's springtime, because see, in New York, our woods, they go barren of their leaves. So all you see are these majestic, enormous trees, but they have no leaves on them. And so you quite naturally can see further up into those woods that you couldn't see, that you maybe can't see during the summertime, because the vegetation is full of leaves, all kind of discarded stuff that has been moved around during the wintertime or thrown out the cars that the wind has blown up into the vegetation. And so, that's why I say per the weather, per the season, I should say. There are certain times you just can't see shit, right? And then there are certain times that you do. My point is, the 4 to 6 times a month that I drive to the reservation, I see something different every goddamn time. It depends on the level of traffic, what speed limit I'm going, with the season, according to the roads and the condition of the roads. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Now that's me minding my own business, doing nothing wrong, on my way to the reservation. My car could damn near drive it goddamn self. It knows the motherfucking pattern. You understand what I'm saying? And so that knows the pattern leads me to my next statement. When y'all are ever on your way to somewhere and you realize you missed a turn, but your car was inadvertently probably on your way home and you ain't mean to go right home. You meant to make a left to stop over here and you like, damn, force a habit kind of thing. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Force a habit. That's why I believe this motherfucker knew about this place. Because nothing else makes sense. Nothing else makes sense. Absolutely not. Gretchen says, ain't no telling how many more children Richard had put in those woods. Absolutely. That might be how he knows how to plan this. So we can do it at ease. Yeah, absolutely.
He drove several miles down the roadway until he reached an area shielded by dense vegetation and largely hidden from passing traffic. And it was there investigators believed that Richie removed the suitcase from the vehicle and disposed of Felicia's body in the waters of Old Tampa Bay. Afterward, evidence showed that he continued to St. Petersburg, where he spent the night with another girlfriend. Investigators also concluded that at some point after disposing of Felicia's body, Richie got rid of the suitcase used to transport her and discarded the clothing that she had been wearing. By the time Felicia's body was discovered that following afternoon, many of the physical items that could have directly connected her to the apartment were gone. But despite those efforts, investigators believe that the evidence told a clear story. Felicia Williams had not wandered away from the apartment. She had never left it alive. Now, although investigators believe that they knew what had happened to Felicia, building a case that could be proven in court would take time. And so, over the following weeks, detectives continued gathering evidence and waited for the results of forensic testing from multiple crime laboratories. And as the evidence was processed and analyzed, investigators worked to strengthen the case against Granville Ritchie and corroborate the timeline that they had developed. And then, on August 15th, 2014, nearly 3 months after Felicia's murder, the case reached a major milestone. By that point, Ritchie had already been being held in the Hillsborough County Jail on unrelated charges. But after reviewing the evidence gathered during the investigation, authorities formally arrested him in connection with Felicia's death. A grand jury later indicted Ritchie on charges of first-degree murder, capital sexual battery, and aggravated child abuse. For Felicia's family, the indictment represented an important step toward justice, but an arrest was only the beginning. Before the case would ever reach a jury, prosecutors would have to prove exactly what happened to 9-year-old Felicia Williams inside that apartment on May 16th, 2014. And the details that they would uncover were horrific. But more than 5 years after Felicia's murder, Granville Ritchie finally stood trial in September 2019. Over the course of the trial, prosecutors presented a combination of forensic evidence, cell phone data, and witness testimony that they argued traced Ritchie's actions on the night Felicia was killed. Among the most significant pieces of evidence was cell tower data that tracked Ritchie's movements from the apartment to Courtney Campbell Causeway, where Felicia was ultimately found. And prosecutors also presented forensic evidence recovered from Ritchie's vehicle that they say connected him to the location where her body was found. Ebony Wiley also testified, describing the events leading up to Felicia's disappearance and explaining how she came to leave the 9-year-old alone with Ritchie. The defense challenged Ebony's credibility, pointing to the multiple versions of events that she had given investigators during the early stages of the case. Defense attorneys also questioned aspects of the medical evidence surrounding Felicia's death. But after hearing weeks of testimony, the jury was ultimately unconvinced by the defense's arguments. On September 25th, 2019, after approximately 4 hours of deliberation, jurors found Granville Ritchie guilty on all counts. 2 days later, the same jury unanimously recommended that he be sentenced to death. In September 2020, Hillsborough County Circuit Judge Michelle Cisco formally imposed that sentence. During the hearing, Felicia's mother addressed the court, speaking about the devastating loss of her daughter and the impact that her murder had on their family. More than 6 years after Felicia left home, expecting to spend the afternoon with someone she trusted, the man responsible for her murder was sentenced to death. Now, although Granville Ritchie had been convicted and sentenced to death, the legal proceedings involving Ebony Wiley were not yet over. Investigators never accused Ebony Wiley of participating in Felicia's murder. However, authorities maintained that her repeated lies during the early stages of the investigation had hindered efforts to determine what had happened to the child. And so, in October 2020, Ebony Wiley entered an open guilty plea to a charge of providing false information to law enforcement during a missing person investigation involving a child. And that charge was a third-degree felony under Florida law and carried a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison. But when Ebony appeared for sentencing on December 18th, 2020, Hillsborough Circuit Judge Samantha Ward acknowledged both the seriousness of the offense and Ebony's eventual cooperation with investigators. And ultimately, the judge sentenced Ebony to 75 days in the county jail. For many observers, the sentence sparked debate. Some felt that Ebony had been manipulated by Ritchie and had ultimately helped investigators build their case against him. Others questioned how a woman who considered herself Felicia's godmother could leave a 9-year-old alone with a man she had only known a matter of days, and then spend hours helping him conceal the truth about what happened afterward. And those questions have lingered long after the case came to an end. But what is not in dispute is that on May 16th, 2014, a little girl who was loved by her family, her friends, and her community lost her life at the hands of a man that she should have never been alone with.
That she should have never been alone with. A 9-year-old lost her life to a man that she never should have been alone with. Tina says he had known about the place long before he dropped her there, in my opinion. Ashley Boy says sick. And then he's sitting his sick ass up there in court looking like he's upset. He got some nerve. You are absolutely correct. All of you. Absolutely correct. And I believe behind those eyes looking up at that camera with that wig on, she's hiding a whole bunch. She's hiding a whole bunch of facts. And those facts are going to die with him. I looked to see if he had been executed. I haven't found it yet. But as soon as I do, I'll definitely bring it forward. And we can, I wish we could live stream that shit, like seriously. But if I find it, then yeah. Smiley says they gave her 75 days, and on day 76, they without have been putting me under. I'm trying to tell you, Smiley. On 75th day with 56 seconds left in that. 1 second left in that minute. They would have been signing an indictment on me. Because yeah, it would have got real. Absolutely, Pamela. Absolutely. Because be it not for her leaving that child, that man would not have been able to get a hold of that child. And see, this is part of the sentencing bullshit that I be talking about. That's just like with Naziah Harris. The grandmother and the aunt, both aunts as far as I'm concerned, are just as culpable in whatever happened to Naziah. And I say whatever because her body was never found. And Detroit's sorry ass DA entered into a plea agreement with the deceased Jarvis Butts that he would in fact disclose the whereabouts of Naziah Harris. Now, not only did she say that, but the judge who sentenced him said that. And both of them can go fuck themselves because it was never done. Let the family tell it. Let the family tell it, right? Like she has never been found. But my point is, one aunt was dating this nasty motherfucker first. But then her twin sister, and yes, I said her twin sister, took up her sister's sloppy seconds and wound up throughout the years having 6 children by him. But she had already had 5 by the time Naziah went missing. By the time Naziah went missing, the family members had uncovered this nasty, just deplorable, disgusting degenerate in his past. They had uncovered the fact that this motherfucker was indeed a child rapist and molester. That he had indeed done time for such acts. One, which I'm sure many of you have heard, that he gave a 4-year-old an STD. Okay. In her mouth. Oh, okay. So, and so by the end of it, by the time he took a plea deal, so many present day young ladies who were children when he violated them came forward and gave their accounts, because that disgusting Oopa Loopa ass DA gets on YouTube and other social media sites and news broadcasts saying anyone with any information or if anything has happened to you, come forward. So she does. So, you know, these young ladies present day come forward and give the account of what happened to them at and all of them, all of their violation ages varied. There were some 4-year-old, 8-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds, and some were even his daughters. There was not just one daughter that he violated, albeit there was one daughter he was violating while he was, during the time he was violating Naziah. And he tried to victimize 3 cousins, one twin's daughter who wound up taking the stand, another twin's daughter, which was also his daughter, and Naziah. What do I mean by that? All 3 of these little girls' mamas were sisters. That's why they were cousins. And they knew that. He knew it. And he tried. But the one cousin said, and take me home. And so he did. And when she told her mama, she said, you shouldn't have gotten this car. Yeah. That is what one of the twins said to their own daughter. Now, it's been some time for me, so please, give me grace on the gap in my memory. But I do distinctly remember one of those twins, one of them, beluga-looking bitches, beluga whales. I'm telling y'all, go look up, go Google beluga whales. And then look up Shannon and Marquita Harris. And when you see them 2 bitches standing in them blue and burgundy dresses, y'all gonna say Sean's stupider than a motherfucker, but that shit is dead spot on. And anybody who has seen it, please give me a 1 in the chat or give me a thumbs up in the chat. Y'all know I ain't lying. Them bitches look like beluga whales. Now, in the last almost 3 years, they have lost some weight. Stress will do that to you, right? Embarrassment and humiliation will do that to you. And so my point is, I believe all three of them are complicit, culpable, in fact, in what happened to each and every one of those babies, because they knew what this motherfucker was. And they still allowed him to come around. They still let the girls go to the shop. Never the boys, always the girls. Why? Why? I will always ask that goddamn question. Why did the boys not go? This is a fucking car lot. It's a car shop. Oil, tires, nasty, dirty shit. Why only the girls? Why you never ask for your boys, you nasty bitch? And you ugly, desperate bitches, why y'all never sent the boys? Because see, both twins had sons. One had multiple sons. The other one had one son. But neither one of them motherfuckers goes up to the shop. He never asked for either one of those boys to go up to the shop. The grandmother, with her delunt, money hungry, broke down, decrepit ass, never said, why you ain't taking the son, my grandsons up there? Why aren't you asking for your sons to come and watch their father do what he does? You know why? Because it wasn't the boys that he wanted. It wasn't the boys that he wanted to show what the fuck he was doing. That's why. And all three of them fucking ugly wenches got away with it. Just like this Ebony is getting away with it. I believe, I wouldn't give a fuck if surveillance cameras saw Ebony walking to the CVS and questioning any fucking body. I believe it was part of the goddamn play. I don't give a fuck. You step your foot in shit, goddammit, your foot stink. And that's what the fuck she did. So I give this bitch not 1 ounce of motherfucking grace. I believe it was a setup from the whole fucking time. It was part of the goddamn play. Because a motherfucker need to keep their desperate asses solo with a nasty motherfucker. You want to be desperate, not a child. You are. You're ugly. You're desperate. You're lonely. You're empty. You're soulless. Not that child. That child has her whole motherfucking life in front of her. How fucking dare you or any nasty motherfucker cut that shit short? How dare you? Yes, Gretchen. The boys could have learned how to change oil, change a tire, put air in the tire. Fuck, how to clean oil off the goddamn cement. I wouldn't give a damn. They could have learned something besides sitting up in that motherfucking house up under all them fat fucking whales, not learning a goddamn thing. Because truth be told, even Vari said that him and his sister were treated like fucking slaves, not the mother goddamn kids. That humpback bitch, that old fucking hag, didn't talk to those other grandchildren like that. She talked to her foster kids or adopted kids and Kenyatta's fucking kids, which was Vari and Nazaya. Vari and Nazaya didn't get to go nowhere. They didn't fucking get to do the fuck nothing. Nothing. But them beluga whale looking bitches, oh yeah, one of the aunts would pick her up and them motherfucking strays and take them motherfuckers wherever the fuck they wanted to go. Dinner, Disney World, wherever the fuck. But Nazaya didn't get to go no fucking where. Nazaya didn't have pretty bathing suits and hair bows and all that kind of shit. I saw one motherfucking picture where it looked like Nazaya had just gotten her fucking hair done. This little girl has been in the care of these wenches since she was 2 fucking years old. You got to be fucking kidding me. These motherfuckers got away with that shit. And where the fuck is Nazaya? Her little cousin, her professed to be best friend, got to carry what the fuck her own fucking father did to her at the age of 8 fucking years old for the rest of her fucking life. She got a chance to tell that motherfucker, and I am profoundly proud of her for telling him, you will never be my hero again, and you have even changed the way that I see myself and my sexuality. That's fucked up. But one of them beluga whales is going to cause a fucking scene in the goddamn courtroom so she can escape having to be in the courtroom and listen to her own fucking daughter, whose custody she lost, as well as the rest of her kids. Listen to her daughter tell him how the fuck she feel. Oh yeah, that big, bad, black, ugly, cross-eyed, cockeyed, ugly bitch got a chance to escape that shit, but the other one had a chance to get up there. I hate you. I hate you. You took her away from me. I loved her. Then bitch, if you fucking loved her, why the fuck did you fucking do something? Why? Because you was too busy out there running your own motherfucking life. You was too busy out there living your own goddamn life, while even your daughter became a victim of that motherfucker because she witnessed what the fuck he was doing to her cousins. Her testimony said the awful things that this motherfucker was doing to her cousins. So, bitch, while you're hating him, you need to turn that goddamn light on the mirror and hate your motherfucking self, your mama, and your goddamn twin. Because while your ass was absent with Dre and whoever the fuck else you was living your life with, your mama and your sister was given permission for your daughter and your 2 nieces to be utterly violated. To the point where one lost their life. So, Ashley Boy Mom, I am totally on board with you as far as that mother is concerned. Start having discernment. Make choices according to what the fuck is best for your kids and not what the fuck is best for you. You desperate bitches. I said it, and that's exactly what the fuck I mean. And whoever the fuck it applies to, stamp my goddamn name on it, because I said it. And when you repeat what the fuck Miss Sean B said, it's right there on the screen. Spell it correctly. Because I ain't mad till you start lying. You left a man, you dun-dun-dun special ass bitch. You left a man that you barely knew in your motherfucking apartment with your teenage daughter. What the fuck would you be doing or saying had something happened to your daughter? Because yeah, he gonna go to jail, or in prison. But the fact of the matter is, child molesters and child rapists get less time than a motherfucker standing on the corner selling a package of dope. I'm here to fucking tell you. My husband worked in that field. I've read the paperwork, the details, the court transcripts. I've read them. The indictments, all of that. I've read them. Motherfucker violated a 2-year-old, dismembered her body, and they found her in pieces. That motherfucker got 10 years. He was out in 4. Fuck you if I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And he went to a halfway house, did it clean for 6 months, and then he was free. Because by then, the laws had changed on sentencing and parole. All that. So, yes, Ashley Boy, I totally fucking agree. On earth, they did. But it's not getting away in God's eyes. No, it won't. It won't. It won't at all. That's a fact, boo. Ashley Boy Mom says, rather she got in his car or not. That's the response she gives this child that thought maybe it was okay to get in his car since he's part of the family. He shouldn't have been touching these kids, babe. Absolutely. He shouldn't have been. None of them should. None of them. But it was the parents' decision. And then if the parents elect to leave their child in the care of someone else, how dare that someone else be a disgusting degenerate, a disgusting, irresponsible fuckface just wanting drugs. What the fuck my daughter got to do with it? That's why I say it was a setup. Because I don't believe anything else would have gotten his motherfucking attention. I don't. And see, the fact of the matter is, where them beluga whales is concerned, one of them chicks already had a little girl. No. I think her daughter came after he was already in the family, because her daughter was younger than Neziah. Yeah. Point is, all his dun-dun-dun-dunts look like they were all fucking related. What you talking about, Sean B? Hey, Nisi Poo, what you talking about, Sean B? What I'm talking about is each and every one of Jarvis Butt's girlfriends, even his supposedly fiance, all them bitches look like they come from the same family. He had a type. And his type looked like the kind of women that have low self-esteem. Why? Because they're not the picture of beauty. I said it. Am I calling them ugly? No, the fuck I'm not. I'm saying what society deems as attractive. That's what I'm saying. And I'm dead ass. Y'all can go. All of the motherfucking information is out there. It's all over the place. All you got to do is put Neziah Harris in the motherfucking search engine, and everybody is gonna pop up that covered this case. Dead ass. And somebody has that collage of all of them bitches who fucked with that nigga. And all the bitches looked like they couldn't wait for a motherfucker to pay them some attention. Dead ass. Dead ass. Were some more attractive than the other? Of course. But them two goddamn twins, oh, they were at the bottom of the fucking totem pole. I said it. One of them, you didn't even know if it was multiple people in the fucking room, you didn't know who one of them bitches was talking to, because one of her eyes was to the left and the other one was to the right. Damn it, it's the truth. I ain't lying. Don't get mad at me till I start lying. How is it that a bitch that knows that a motherfucker went to jail for touching on a girl, a little girl, albeit no matter what, how is it that when your family members come to you and tell you, yo, did you know this nigga been to prison? Yeah, he told me. Well, did he tell you that they was little girls? No, he said that the girl lied about her age. Well, I'm telling you that this is what it is. And then she moved the goalpost and said, well, I believe that if society can give him a second chance, why can't I? Oh, okay. Well, that's why you lost custody of all your goddamn kids. Even the newborn baby you had just had when this shit happened. Even him. Yeah. The little Teletubby looking baby. That some people was thinking was Neziah's, or some people was saying was Neziah's baby. But some people were saying, no, it's not, it's Shannon's baby. That one. That's why you don't give niggas like that a second chance, bitch. Because you wind up losing your own. Because chances are you ain't nothing but a tool. You're a tool. And you knew what was going on, you nasty whore, because you read the goddamn text messages. Did you stop it? No, you didn't. You like to broke your goddamn hip bone trying to get around that goddamn dining room table when your mama was making her desperate, ugly, broke back ass around that dining room table to get to a nigga that both you bitches said was never in that goddamn house. You sat on the porch or out in the car. Here go a whole goddamn video of this nigga walking through the door like he got a motherfucking key. And your broke back ass mama gonna say to him, what? You ain't family no more? You got to start coming around more often. Why, ho? Why do we have to start coming around more often? He ain't fucking enough of your fucking grandchildren? Is that why? What, you want to offer him up some fresh meat? You disgusting whore. Yo, I can't stand them Harris bitches. I'm dead ass. They need to be locked the fuck up. They need to be locked the fuck up. And I'm never going to let that shit go until they are. They need to be locked the fuck up. Gretchen says just brought this sick man into their home around their little girls knowing Jarvis didn't want the mom. It was about the man they wanted to be in a relationship with. Absolutely. Absolutely, that's all it was. He was bringing in a couple of dollars, paying them some fucking attention. He was light-skinned with pretty hair, albeit teeth that look like he could, his teeth look like a picket fence that's been broke down. But y'all understand what I'm saying. Light-skinned, pretty hair. Oh, yeah. And when that motherfucker would get to talking, you know what I'm saying? He would talk like this. He would talk real low so you could barely understand what he was saying. And he would talk really fast, you know what I mean? Because, see, he ain't got to explain himself to a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You either gonna get in where the fuck you fit in at, or I can move the fuck on, baby, because I really ain't got to be bothered with this kind of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But shit, a nigga trying to pay you some motherfucking attention, boo. So are you gonna take a nigga or not? It's your choice, baby. Because I can move around. That's how this motherfucker used to talk to them desperate bitches. And they fell for that shit. Oh man, they cootie cat got so goddamn soaking wet. Them bitches didn't know if they was floating a boat, and they didn't know. But he knew exactly how the fuck to pick them. Just like this nigga did. This Richard nigga. He knew exactly how to pick them. He knew exactly how to pick them. And there's dumbass bitches out here that want us to believe them so goddamn mature, so motherfucking intelligent that they would leave their teenage daughter in the house with a nigga that she has not so much as touched before. She even brought him to her fucking house. That shit don't make no fucking sense. And then a motherfucker want to cry and snot and act like they got so many goddamn anxieties and problems and can't sleep, and this and how you've affected their life and you took their child and now they're without this and will never know that and will never know that and how wrong a nigga was. No, bitch. Yeah, he's wrong. But how the fuck did it happen? You left him there. In your house. You can't say he broke in. You can't say he wasn't welcome. His DNA is all in your bed and all up your ass. So you can't say that he's done anything wrong until he violates your daughter. Other than that, he was a welcome person in your home. And you left him with the work. And did 12, 16 hours. Do you know what unspeakable things could have happened to your child while a man that you barely even fucking know is in your home with your child for 12 or 16 hours? Gretchen, people have speculated that. People have speculated that the grandma wanted him to. You know, there is a such thing as just wanting a man around because he's eye candy. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe he was handsome. Some people do. Some people do think he was nice looking. I don't. Now that motherfucker down here in Florida that did that to his niece and disposed of her body in the landfill, he was a fine ass motherfucker. Like he just was. He was fine. Jarvis Butts, people think that he was attractive simply because he was light skinned with good hair. But these women got to be more careful. They've got to be more careful. They have to start putting their children before them, because there is going to become a point. Y'all remember how when children were, excuse me one second, y'all. Excuse me. Okay, I'm back, guys. I apologize. Thank you. Y'all remember how back in the days when people's kids were dying in hot cars and it was just deemed an accident? Oh, it was just an accident. Mothers are overwhelmed. They're trying to deal with the unruly children. You know, they've been washing clothes and cooking dinner and giving baths and pleasing the husband and, you know, all the wifely stay-at-home single moms and all of that kind of overwhelming kind of shit. Oh, yeah, people was getting away with killing their kids in the damn hot, heated cars. Well, it got to the point where they were like, okay, y'all, listen. We've let enough of you motherfuckers get away with that. We have made public service announcement. It is on the dashboards of certain cars that have been made from a certain year to the present. It is been made, written into laws have been passed to abandonment and things like that when leaving your children in cars. So my point is, they went from excusing it. They went from giving grace. They went from turning a blind eye and patting the mamas on the back saying, we understand. They went from that to, nah, bitch, no. Now you're just being neglectful and we locking y'all's ass up. Well, at some point, these desperate hoes need to realize that they are going to start being blamed for what's happening to their children as well, especially the minors. Especially. You're going to have to start explaining what made you think it was okay for your child to go with that person. Because see, Ashley Boy Mom, Gretchen, Smiley, Tina, you guys, it's going to be enough of us that's going to say, I blame the mama too. That's what's going to start happening. That's a fact. Just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. I know that's right, Gretchen. Gretchen said he was nice looking. But them teeth looked like he had been biting apples through a fence. Oh, yes, girl. Or that he could, okay? Gretchen says, as them being a mom, they should have seen the change in the children's, because all of them, behavior. We were listening to some phone calls not too long ago where the googly-eyed one was saying that their son was indeed acting out. And I believe it was in reference to the children being teased at school because of what had come out about their father. Absolutely. Absolutely, I do. Kids are cruel. You know what I'm saying? Kids are cruel. They just do that kind of shit. And then they grow up and become ugly, ugly people like the parasites on YouTube that just fuck with people for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Some people grow out of it and they say to themselves, shame on you. You shouldn't have never did that. You know what I mean? They apologize and they continue to grow. Some people don't. Smiley says he had the right last name because he was truly butts looking. I know that's Smiley. Kathy, hey, good afternoon. I saw you when you came in, baby, but I was in the midst of a rant. Had to keep going. Kathy says, I had a daughter myself and didn't let her go with anyone, not even family members. I understand. Gretchen says, Miss Sean B., there was a part of Mississippi where a young man did actually leave his newborn in the car and they locked him up, but a white couple did it and didn't go to jail. Gretchen, how do you leave a child in a car accidentally? How do you do that? Because how can you say out of one side of your mouth, I love my baby. I would never do anything to hurt my baby. Yet you forget them. I don't understand that. Gretchen says, but the black man had worked 2 jobs and he really was tired and wasn't used to picking up the baby. I can't fathom it, Gretchen. I can't. I cannot fathom it. I can fathom a parent being so tired, and not hearing the baby cry for a period of time if the baby's in the other room. But I cannot fathom leaving anybody's child, let alone one that my heartbeat is connected to, my flesh and my blood, in a hot car, in a cold car. I can't fathom it. No, ma'am. Nobody gets a pass from me for doing that. Nope, not nobody. White, black, purple with pink polka dots. Black with orange stripes. I don't give a damn. Don't nobody get a pass from me for that. No, you shouldn't take on the responsibility if you are not able, willing, and ready to take it on. Don't pick up that child. Whoever the fuck gonna get mad at it, gonna get mad at it. But they would rather their child be safe than dying in a hot or a cold car. Because you gave your child to somebody who was exhausted to the point where they forgot they even had an infant in their care. No, ma'am. I cannot, Gretchen, but I love you. Smiley says, I've always blamed the mother. But Gretchen, to finish your point though, I don't know what court of fucking law that shit happened in, but that white couple's ass should have been sitting in prison as well. So part of your point, I get it. That's that racism. That's also Mississippi. But that's that racism. Absolutely. All them parents should have been sitting their ass in jail. The black man who left that baby in the car and the white couple who left their baby in the car. They all should have been locked up. Smiley says, I've always blamed the mother. I have 4 daughters. and they were never around any man but their dad. I didn't remarry until they were grown. My youngest child is my husband's child. I know that's right, Smiley. We have that in common. Because that too is when I remarried. My youngest was 14. Nope. He was 14 by the time I got with who became my husband. I met him when my youngest was 12. We moved in together. By the time we moved in together and joined our families, my son was 14. And then Doobie was coming. But we didn't get married until Doobie was 6 years old. That's when we got married. Let me see. Kathy says, I agree, Sean. I will never understand a baby or any kid being left in the car. But here in Arizona, it happens all the time. Deaths, Kathy? Deaths? It shouldn't. Not if these motherfuckers start getting life sentences for doing that dumb shit. Lock enough, show the consequences that's going to come with actions, and actions will change. Show the consequences that comes with someone's behavior, and behavior will change. All the shit that was happening in New York wasn't happening until the death penalty went away. Dead ass. And they need to bring it back. Gretchen says, I think this baby was about 4 weeks old, but the mom is the one who would always have the child. And so she should have said, nah, baby daddy, I know you tired. I mean, I know you want to see the baby, and I know you want to spend time with the baby, but you go home and get some rest, and then you can come and get the baby. What's the sense? If the man is so damn tired, why is he taking the baby? A 6-week-old baby? If he's so tired, how is he going to spend time with the baby anyway? If he's so tired, how is he going to care for the baby anyway? If she was so worried about it, she should have went with him. Gretchen says, Sean B., I understand, but I felt sorry for the young couple because he had a nervous breakdown afterwards, and he should have. There are consequences to our actions, Gretchen. There is, as there should be. That baby was the most innocent as they can be. An infant that is still learning who loves them and who doesn't. What people's voices sound like. Their eyes are just starting to develop and discern color. Because little do a whole lot of people need to know, children don't automatically see us when they come out. They see shadows. They know mommy's voice because they've been listening to mommy for 9 months. They know daddy's voice if daddy is interacting with that belly while mommy is carrying the baby. The baby may know voices of its siblings if they interact with mommy's belly while mommy is carrying, but they don't see a goddamn thing but shadows. They don't see color. You understand what I'm saying? They see brightness, but not color. Gretchen says some women trust men around their young kids, knowing that the man is a heavy drinker. See? It's that other shit. That's that other shit. And just to go back to the mother of the 6-week baby, that one, she probably needed a break. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Come on now. We ain't gonna act like we don't know. You know what I'm saying? At 6 weeks, after having a baby at 6 weeks, man, Lord, I know she probably couldn't wait to just lay flat on her stomach and get some good goddamn uninterrupted sleep. I'm sure. but he wasn't the one to send that baby to. That just it. That's all. Obviously, that's not even my opinion. That's a fact. You know. Tina says, Sean B, I agree with you 100%. That's why I'm not. Okay, baby. You can comment, Tina. Comment whenever you want to. But see, it's a whole lot of women that miss the fact of obligation. That when you decide to carry a baby to term, you have, legally anyway, contracted into an agreement with God that you will carry this baby, nurture this baby, and do the best that you can to be the portal for this baby and make sure that this baby makes it to earth to live its life. And so once that happens, now you're obligated to that child. You're obligated to the necessary sacrifices, including sleep deprivation, a social life, having a man in your life that wasn't there before, even baby daddies for that matter. Your decisions are centered around your children and what is best for your children, not you. You gotta wait. You gotta wait. Wait for what? You gotta wait until you have those children in a safe place so that you can turn mommy mode off and turn Pamela mode on and just be Pamela. You don't have to worry about hearing crying. You don't have to worry about hearing mommy, mommy. None of that. You could just be Pam. But until you can put your children or your child, no matter what age, into a safe place, you don't get to turn mommy mode off. I don't care if daddy is there or not. My husband was and still is a freaking helicopter dad. He tries to micromanage me where Doobie is concerned. Oh man, through my pregnancy, there were many nights I couldn't wait for this man to get home so he can come and talk to my damn belly and make Doobie be still. So I could go to sleep. Because I had no problem getting to sleep. I just had a problem staying asleep because my stomach was moving around like an alien was in there. Oh man, Doobie would be all over the place, dislocating ribs and all kind of stuff. And then as soon as his father would walk in the room, he'd come, get himself together, get himself ready for bed, and he'd come and lay down and talk to my belly. And Doobie would literally go over to that side of my belly where his father is and be there. And I'm like, okay, now I can go to sleep. Doobie would move. He'd hear his father snoring and all of that. That's when I couldn't wait to have this baby because I couldn't sleep through the snoring. But Doobie could. Oh man, y'all, I got video of Doobie laying on his father's chest. His father snoring like the biggest black bear in the woods. And Doobie was humming, literally humming. They was singing a tune only them two heard and knew what it was. And I thought it was the most beautiful thing. The connection was utterly beautiful. My granddaughter, only her father can calm her. I love that. The connection that Lady Mysterious has with her dad. I love that. Because she is every bit a classic woman. And her father still calls her his baby. I love that. Tina says, I remember a guy locked his child in the car. The couple wanted to break the glass, and the dad said no. I think the cops broke the window anyway. As the fuck they should have. As they should have. What the fuck do you mean no? So that couple cared more about the glass than they did that baby. And the first thing they want to do is get mad when you say that. No, I did it. I love my child. Well, bitch, why you ain't break the glass then? What do you mean no about breaking the glass? What do you mean? Pamela says, saying that God gave me my babies. Who needs a godmother when I am their mother? God gave them to me, period. Pamela, that is because a lot of people have changed the meaning of godmother, godparents, right? Godparents came along while life expectancy was very short, okay? Godparents came along when parents were being snatched from their children. And so, through God, another mama came along to mother those children. And it's just carried itself. That title has carried itself through generations. That's what that was. And it is actually, it can become legal. Like literally, you can go and have this legally done, right? And it's supposed to simply mean, right, Pamela? She said, I'm 50, I understand, but not nowadays. I get it, right? So just for the sake of this conversation here, it's supposed to mean that if something were to happen to the mother and the father, that the godparents are who the parents elect to step in. And nobody, if it's legal, if it's made legal, that is a legal binding document. Even the grandparents can't overstep that. But if it's not made legal, if it is not documented, grandparents can fight for their grandchildren. So, but it used to only mean in the absence of the parents. In the absence, one gets ill and is in the hospital, someone gets incarcerated, someone goes away to war. You understand what I'm saying? But these days, motherfuckers take godparents as babysitters. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers take godparents as part of the financial obligation. And that's simply not the fuck true. I am not obligated as a godparent to help you get your kid ready for school. You know, school supplies, school clothes, that kind of thing. Now, if I choose to, that's my choice. But you don't get to look down on me if I say no. I'm not doing that. That's not my obligation. And that indeed is a fact. Hey, Doobie. That indeed is a fact. It is not the godparent's obligation to be financially responsible for your child while you are able-bodied, working, living, and everything else that adults get to do. But they put it on the godparents every time. Every time. You ain't gonna be my child's godmother. What you do for them lately? Excuse me? Well, then fine, bitch. Because you need to go somewhere and fucking grow up. Because that ain't what the fuck a godparent is for. Oh, you thought you was going to make me the godmother so that I could help you take care of your child. No. Godparent steps up when you cannot. That's what a godparent is for. But a lot of people need to get that shit straight. They really do. They need to get it straight. And if they think differently, then that's their dereliction. Not the person who says no. Period. And to the people that are asked to be godparents, understand what your obligation is. I'm not talking about what you choose to do. I'm talking about obligation, expectations. Lady says, I'm listening. My daddy told me to come get this plate and he gonna give me a whooping. Smiley says, Sean B, I keep telling people what godparent mean, but they won't listen to me. My grandchildren don't even have godparents. They have their aunts, me to be responsible if something happens. He gonna give you a whooping in the rain, lady. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Tell Pops don't do that. Tell Pops don't do that now. Don't do that. Tell him he know doggone well you on your way to come get that plate with your non-cooking self. He know you coming late. But yeah, people, and that's just all a part of manipulation, Smiley. You know what I'm saying? That's all a part of manipulation. People change definitions and things like that to fit their selfishness, to fit their narrative, the reason why they're doing it. Well, then don't say it's a godparent then, because that's not what a godparent does. If a godparent does something while you are actively in your child's life, they're doing it by choice. But that's not obligational. That's it. That's all. But as far as, and that's funny that we even got on the godparents, because that's what the ebony chick in this story was seen as. Butterscotch. Hello, Buttercup. I thought I heard butterscotch yesterday. I didn't go live yesterday, so maybe you heard it somewhere else, Pamela. But that's what this bald-head heifer was considered. And see, it ain't no considering with me. I either am or I'm not. I don't halfway do nothing. I'm not going to sort of kind of be your friend. I'm not going to sort of kind of be a parent. I either am or I'm not. I ain't going to put my foot halfway in a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not. I don't halfway soak my feet. Why I'm going to halfway step into a parenting situation? That's ridiculous. Babies ain't halfway here. Pamela said, okay, Queen Sean B, maybe. I laugh out loud. I love you. I love you too, boo. Pam, me and you done came a long way back. And I'm still waiting on you to call me with that story. I haven't forgotten. You've been calling me for 4 or 5 months. You ain't called me yet. But you started to tell your story and you never finished. But it's okay. It's all right. I'm just bringing that up to let you know I haven't forgotten about you personally. And it's all right. It's all right. Oh, what do you mean you're crying? Why are you crying, girl? Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't want to cry. People cry, I cry. Stop that. Why are you crying? What do you mean? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That make me sad. And I don't want you to be sad. No, I don't want you to be sad. Not on here anyway. Because it's my truth. You will proofread it. Oh. Okay, Pam. Gotcha, baby. Okay. All right. All right, guys. I done had y'all here long enough. We done went all around the rosy a few different times, a few different ways. We've touched on so many important points. It is the summertime. The first day of summer was yesterday. School is out. Doobie got one exam tomorrow, and then we are finished with the 6 o'clock in the mornings. And I will officially announce that my baby is a junior at the age of 15. Stop playing with Doobie. Stop playing with Doobie. He will be a junior at the age of 15 years old. Absolutely. Yes, he'll be a senior at 16. Is it the first time it's been done? No, the fuck it's not. But God damn it, if I don't announce that my baby doing it, shit. We getting her done, y'all. We getting them done. And so the point of the story is there are going to be times when people are celebrating, socializing, drinking, doing what grown folks do, smoking their little weed, you know what I mean? Just doing what grown folks do, and that I am not judging. You understand me? What I am asking y'all to do is to stand in the gap. Pay attention. Stop minding your own business during those cookouts. Look at how the kids are acting. If a small child is being real fast, pay attention. Speak to your friends, your sisters, your cousins, males or females. If it's your brother's niece, if it's your niece, but it's your brother's daughter, yo, bro, why you letting her dance like that? What's going on? It's okay to say that, y'all. This day and age, goddamn it, this 2026, it's okay to say that shit. Nothing is taboo anymore. When the law enforcement let men dress like women go into the women's bathroom because they say that's how they feel, you're not going to tell me I can't say to my brother, yo, why my niece dancing like that? And why my nephew sitting over there by himself? What the fuck y'all doing? What's going on? Pack him a bag. He going with me this weekend. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Or we're just going to keep covering stories just like this. And there's going to come a time when you've got to admit that you really don't even have a voice. Because when you had a chance, you didn't take it. So don't raise your voice now. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Please, y'all. The kids deserve it because they haven't done anything wrong. They're innocent in it all. They're innocent to their parents' shortcomings. They're innocent to their parents' derelictions. They're innocent to even a parent making a responsible decision to enter into the military, to build a life, to be a better parent for their children. The children are innocent in that. So please, Kathy, Pamela, Smiley, Big Drip, Gretchen, Buttercup, Tina, Lady, Miss Wanda, Sexy Mama Libra, Ashley Boy Mom, Kathy, Gossip and Giggles and Summer Mommy, Peanut, because I know you're going to catch the replay, Gwen, Tay, because I know you're going to catch the replay, Sherry, Nicole, Nay, Big Brother Terry, and anybody that I've missed. All of y'all in the bushes that's not saying anything but are going to catch the replay gang. Please, y'all, get in the gap. Stay in the gap. They need you in the gap. They deserve for us to be in the gap. Y'all be safe. Peace.
Yeah. Sean B on YouTube. Ooh, yeah. Late night on the screen, got the city lights low. Sean B bringing truth to the stories below. From New York with grace and a mind so wise, she can see through the dark, she can read through the lines. Every clue, every name, every twist, every turn, she be digging down deep till the realness burns. For the ones left behind, for the pain unseen, she be lifting those voices in between the scenes. So like, share, subscribe, let the real ones roll. Sean B on the case, going straight for the soul. On YouTube she shines, bringing truth to the few. When the world stays quiet, she comes breaking through. Like, share, subscribe, let the story breathe. Sean B got the light that the people need. Ooh, Sean B, true crime, baby. Tune in and watch the truth speak.